You can say what you want, but I'm convinced that unless we make a change, we won't see a change. I'm convinced that if you want to see a change, you got to be willing to make a change. So either way it go, a change must come. But the thing about it is that I can't force you to do what you don't want to do. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying? I can only suggest to you that a change is necessary. And so even right now, in the process where we are as a church, trying and going to change the location of where we are. But you can't do so without a change. There are some things that I said in my meditations that we dare not take over to the new location. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying? You know how you look when you move? You say, when I get over here, when I move in this room right here, I'm going to set this stuff up there. Help me somebody. Isn't it good sometimes not to see the same old things you left? Change is sometimes for the good. Oh, y'all don't hear what I'm saying? You ladies ought to say amen. That's why you go to your hairstyle and get your hair done. You don't get it done the same way all the time because you don't want to look at yourself the same way all the time. You want to see how you look. Oh, help me somebody. So a change is, amen, in order. King Hezekiah was convinced that Judah's difficulties could be traced back to the people's actions and, amen, and their failure to turn to God. And whenever people do not come to God, they're going to always see the worst changes take place in their life. I want you to see that. I say whenever people fail, amen, to turn back to the face of God, they're going to always experience and see the worst changes take place in their life. Now, so some of you all, that don't mean much. But if your life is going down, I'm probably concerned about whether or not you've made the change for the better or for the worse. The message is clear. And the people were responsible for the problems that they were experiencing. Somebody say, I am responsible for my problem. Yeah. Most likely, you can't blame somebody else for something that you're experiencing. If you want to look for anybody, look at yourself. And most of us don't want to look at ourselves when we are facing problems because we don't want to change. But change is, amen, important. We have to see this for what it is. If you don't make a change, you won't see a change. Hezekiah realized that. And he began to call the people to order because he knew that a change was necessary. In Amen, chapter 30, verse 1, Hezekiah called all the people to the house of God and said, we can no longer continue to live like we're living. We can no longer keep doing what we're doing and expect God to bless us anymore. Wow, hold on one second. Hezekiah knew where the problem lied. He knew that the problem was in the people, and the people were the cause of the problem. Most of us are unwilling to accept the fact that many of the things that we see today, we cause. By either not doing something or by doing something. Am I right about it? Or our children ain't running the streets because they want to run the street. They run the streets because they saw us. Y'all help me somebody. They ain't doing what they're not, amen, accustomed to seeing us doing. So when we talk about change in them, we must look at it first, a change in us. Am I right about it? And Hezekiah realized that, and so he realized that his father Ahab, who was the king, his predecessor, had led the people away from God. You'll find that, amen, in chapter 29. Hezekiah realized, amen, that his father, the king, had led the people away from God. And as a result of that, it led the nation away from God. And now they are suffering as a result of the changes that their father failed to do. So you can see the consequences. Well, this morning, somebody got to take responsibility to make the change right. The first thing that I want to bring to your attention in the text that I read unto you was Hezekiah saw a need that if everybody else is going to stand back, somebody got to stand up. Hezekiah saw a need that if everyone else is going to stand back, somebody somebody must be willing to stand up. See, there won't be a change until somebody say, hold on one second, I don't know what you're going to do, but I know what we need to do. Somebody has to come to the forefront of the leadership and say, you know what, enough is enough, and we can't do this any longer. Oh, y'all don't want to talk to me? Yeah. Somebody has to say that we can no longer allow these things to continue to happen. Somebody must take leadership and tell the people many times what they don't want to hear. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying? And in that cause, amen, somebody has to be willing to take, amen, initiative for the change. Now, I know what you said in the time past. It ain't none of my business. It ain't none of my problem. I don't need to do nothing with it. But I'm here to tell you every problem, amen, that you say is not yours will become yours. How you say that, Pastor? Every leader must define reality. Meaning that every leader must show the people what reality really is. I don't care how much you don't want to tell them.